time to start. So, hello everyone and welcome to UT-ITE seminar. Today we are joined by Dr. Lama Alfaseeh from Florida. So, Dr. Lama completed her Ph.D. from Ryerson University under the supervision of Dr. Bilal Farooq. She worked on the impacts of connected and automated vehicles. She completed her Ph.D. in 2020 and then started a postdoc position. In February 2021, Lama joined Stantec as a multimodal transportation planner. In October 2021, Lama moved to Florida in the US and joined Manatee County Public Works as a multimodal transportation planner. So today she will be giving us some useful tips and advice to land a job quickly. So welcome, Lama, and thank you so much for joining us today. The floor is all yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you actually for the invite. It's my pleasure to be with you. My tips and your to-do list that I created is going to be really from my own experience. And I'm going to be answering the questions that you have now in mind because I was in your place like 2 years ago, 1.5 years ago. So yeah, bear with me. I have interesting stuff here to share with you. Just for you to know, my presentation it's not gonna take 40 minutes. I tried really to make it a bit shorter so we have more time to chat, discuss, answer your questions if you have any. So my presentation is gonna be tips to land a job and your to-do list before graduation. We'll start with a brief overview about my academic background, professional experience. Then I'll move to your options after graduation, which is obvious for you, but I would like to discuss with you why I chose, let's say, a certain path compared to other paths, let's say. Then I'll move to benefits of doing graduate studies from my own experience. Then I'll share with you the tips to land a job quickly. This is the main component of this presentation. I really did brainstorming to gather very helpful tips for you to kind of learn and see what can help you to land a job really quickly. Then I'll share with you possible challenges while applying for a position in the industry. And this is from my own experience, what I have faced and what made me feel a bit disappointed or frustrated. Then I'll share with you a brief comparison between public and private sectors. And this is a question I had when I started applying for jobs in the industry. I was like, what is the difference between public and private sectors? What are the tasks? How are they different? So this is what I'm going to share briefly with you, just to give you an insight. Finally, I'm going to share good news for female transportation engineers. So let's see. We'll start with my academic background. I have a bachelor degree in civil engineering. Then I did my master's degree in construction project management. Then I did my PhD in intelligent transportation systems at Ryerson University. And I am project management professional certified. Now we'll move to my PhD journey. I would like to share with you some highlights of this fruitful journey. My research focused on multi-objective eco-routing using connected and automated vehicles. I also developed sophisticated predictive models for speed and greenhouse gas emissions using deep learning. I started my PhD in 2016 and graduated in 2022. I won first place in the 3-minute thesis competition at Ryerson University. It was a very interesting competition. I participated to really improve my presentation skills, and it seems that I did well. I won first place. I won third place nationally in the student essay competition that was organized by ITS Canada. I also won 2 times in the showcase event at Ryerson University for presenting my research on a poster and kind of sharing it with audience that are not necessarily civil engineers. I also published 4 journal papers and participated in 4 conferences with the publications. Moving to my professional experience, I'll share with you the experience and how I got the opportunity and mainly the tasks I worked on. We'll start with my postdoctoral researcher position. I remember I was in invigilation. And a structural professor approached me and she asked me, what is your research about? I briefly told her that I was working at that time on developing sophisticated predictive models using machine learning. And she was like, I am very interested, and please let me know when you publish your work. I would like to take a look. So before I graduated, 1 month I think on the month I graduated, my journal paper was published. I shared it with her and she was like, I want you to join my team and work on a project for the government. So my main tasks were developing predictive models of environmental variables, temperature, humidity, and other environmental variables that affect corrosion. I prepared reports about the impact of different environmental variables on corrosion, and I compared between different statistical predictive models. Moving to my second professional experience, I was a transportation planner at Stantec. And how I got this job. So I got it via LinkedIn. A regional manager approached me by sending me a message stating that he liked my profile and my research work. And he was like, do you want to have a chat? Are you interested in finding a job? I was interested in getting a job in your company. So we had a chat and I quickly got a position there. My main tasks were conducting analyses for different phases of different transportation master plans for Tiny, the Blue Mountains, Niagara-on-the-Lakes, and other jurisdictions. But what are transportation master plans? I would like to share with you a brief kind of description. Transportation master plans are plans that create a vision for a jurisdiction's transportation network. So mainly a transportation master plan includes 3 phases: existing, future without improvements, and future with improvements. So a transportation master plan creates a plan that includes a vision of this transportation network. How is it going to look like in the future without improvements and with improvements? And the main goal of transportation master plans is to suggest solutions and actions to mitigate any undesirable impact, let's say congestion or reduction in the level of service. So it really gives measures, improvements, and suggestions to avoid or overcome the, let's say, adverse impact of the increase in demand. The other task I worked on was preparing traffic impact studies, and I will elaborate more on it for my following position, because this is what I'm currently working on. Moving to my current employment, which is the Multimodal Transportation Planner with Manatee County Public Works in Florida, what I mainly work on is reviewing different types of traffic impact studies. What are traffic impact studies? So whenever there is a development that is going to happen in the county, as transportation engineers, we are supposed to review their traffic studies. And the traffic study differs based on the number of generated trips. So there are generally 2 types. We have traffic impact statement, which is for a kind of small project that generates less than 100 trips, while there is a traffic impact analysis that is for projects that trigger more than 100 trips. And our role to really capture the impact of every development on the transportation network in the county. I also work on assuring compliance with the county's regulation in different ways. And I also conduct research. So my next task that I discussed with my direct manager is that I will be working on improving or updating the traffic study guidelines for the county while considering safety. Safety has been considered as a very important element, and we are supposed to update the traffic study guidelines while considering and taking into account safety as a major variable. Moving now to your options after graduation. I bet you're aware of this, whether you're graduating with a master's degree or PhD. So if you're graduating with a master's degree, you know that you have the option to do your PhD or go to the industry. It is absolutely your choice and your passion. So for me, I remember when I was really young, I had the PhD goal in my mind. So go for what you want to do and how you see yourself. If you're graduating with a PhD, you have actually more than two options. You can do your postdoctoral, and obviously after your postdoctoral, you go to the academia, back to the academia, or you can go directly to the academia or go to the industry. So why doing your postdoctoral? So I'm going to tell you, the field academia is becoming very, very competitive, and doing your postdoctoral helps you actually improve your supervision skills. It helps you gain more skills that are required for you as an assistant professor, which is, let's say, securing grants, let's say, starting projects on your own, be more independent, supervising junior PhD students, and so on. So it is actually your call to choose whatever you want to go for. For me, I kind of took a sense of the postdoctoral, but to be honest, I was very curious and I was eager to enter the industry world and learn more skills and see how it is implemented in real world, our skills. Moving to the next slide, I would like to share with you the benefits of doing graduate studies from my own experience. I strongly believe that doing graduate studies improved my problem solving, analytical thinking, and management skills. It absolutely makes me more resilient to challenges. We PhD students, we face lots of challenges and big ones. So we are absolutely more resilient to challenges in life, at work, everywhere. So it's changing our personal characteristics in a very good way. We are absolutely an out-of-box thinkers. Doing graduate studies help us absolutely think out of the box, be creative, and find solutions whenever it's needed. So the bottom note for you that I would like to share is that employers know and they are aware that graduates or for applicants and employees are special. They have unique skills and they are really different in a very good way. Moving now to the main elements of this presentation that I really put so much effort in to maximize the benefit of my presentation, which is tips on landing a job quickly. And this is from my own experience. Every single word is what I have been through and what I have searched for and what I have found really useful. For this part, the first thing to do is to expand your professional network on LinkedIn and by attending professional events. This really helps because it gives you exposure. You know what is going on in the industry. If there is a demand for a certain position, let's say if there is a new kind of project or whatever is going on in the industry. So it's very, very important to expand your network on LinkedIn and attend professional events. My next tip to you is to keep you a very good relationship with your colleagues and classmates, as they may be your friends in the future. So I remember when I started applying for jobs via LinkedIn, I was looking for mutual friends in a company. So I was looking for who works in this company, who can be my reference. So keep a very good relationship with your colleagues and classmates because you will need each other later after you graduate. Keep your LinkedIn profile up to date and share your achievements to get exposure. It is very crucial and important to keep your profile updated. Include your research work, include your achievements, include the success in any kind of, let's say, competition, any kind of, any kind of activity. It's really very important. And trust me, this is how I got my job at Stantec. The regional manager, he was found my profile attractive and he contacted me based on everything I put in my profile. So keep your LinkedIn profile up to date and don't wait. Just start from now. I know you're very busy, but still you can start like a few months before you graduate just to expand your network and get good exposure. Be proactive. Be proactive, be proactive. It really helps very, very much. And approach managers in companies you're interested in joining via LinkedIn or in any professional event. I'm going to share a small story with you. I remember when I started applying for jobs, I was like approaching managers in my field just to expressing my interest in finding a job in their company and illustrating my strength and my skills. So one of the chats was with a vice president in a very well-reputed company. His area of expertise was intelligent transportation systems. So I approached him, and he was very, very helpful. He even proposed having a chat. We chatted for like 30 minutes. He advised me. He directed me to a hiring manager, and he offered me a position. I couldn't take it because it wasn't in a city I was interested in moving to. So trust me, being proactive is very, very powerful tool, and it will help you land a job quickly. Don't feel shy, because even like senior managers, they were in your position, and they must have approached other managers to get a job, or to start their journey. So be proactive. Improve the way you present your skills and strengths by having very, very well written CV, resume, and cover letter. So just put yourself in the shoe of the employer. What do they know about you? So what you submit is what reflects on your skills, your personality, your every point that they're looking for. So make sure you have a very well written CV, resume, and cover letter. From my own experience, what I did my search online to write a cover letter, proper cover letter, to improve my resume and CV. But still, I contacted my school career service, and they helped me improve my documents, to be honest. And this is something you need to consider for sure. Moving now to the second portion of my tips, you need to really prepare a brief message as a mini version of your cover letter to use for LinkedIn messages. So what I did is that I prepared a message of a few sentences presenting myself, what are my strengths and what are my skills and what I'm looking for. So to be honest, I got a wide horizon of responses. Some responses were just general advice. Some responses that directed me, let's say, to the hiring manager, and a few of them, they offered me positions. So prepare this message and be ready to send it. You can tailor it for sure for every kind of specific company or position, but it's going to be a general brief message of a few sentences that you can use. My second tip for you is to read the description of different job titles to choose the best fit for your strengths and skills. This is one of the challenges I found. When I started applying for jobs in the industry, I was like, what is the best fit and title for me? What should I apply for? Should I apply for transportation planner, or should I apply for traffic engineer? I was like, what is the difference? What are the different skills in this position compared to the other one? So what I did, and you have to do it, you have to read the description of different job titles and choose, this is the best fit for my skills, and move from there. My advice to you is don't restrict your search to a small geographical area. So I used to live in GTA, so I didn't restrict myself to the city. I was like, okay, I'm going to expand it. I'm going to look, let's say, in Burlington, which was far kind of from my place. I'm going to look in other jurisdictions. So keep this in mind, just to increase the chance of getting a job quickly. Work on improving your technical and personal skills before you graduate. Learn new software, improve your presentation skills, etc. So this is a very important tip for you before you graduate. I know that you are very, very busy. I know I was very, very busy, but doing your graduate studies means that you need to improve these skills. So let me tell you an example. So using Vism is very important for us as transportation engineers. But having Vism on your personal machine is going to be really expensive if you're not a student. So if you have access to certain software when you are at school, take advantage of that. Learn even, let's say, as a beginner. That's fine. You can improve your skills later, but at least you can say that you know how this software kind of work. So you need to really improve your technical skills, and your personal skills is very important, or as important as your technical skills. So as you have noticed, when I presented an overview about kind of myself or my PhD, I shared with you that I participated in many competitions. Doing your graduate studies means that you can make mistakes. And if you fail, that's fine. This is what I considered. So I considered my graduate studies period was the period where I can participate. If I fail, that's fine. If I win, this is amazing. So this is what happened to me. Whenever there was a chance, I used to put myself registering in competitions, and I won many competitions. And I advise you and recommend that you take time to participate in competitions and learn softwares. Be well prepared for an interview and prepare answers for any possible question. So this is another job that I did, or another task that I did after I graduated and before I started applying for jobs. I was, what if I have an interview? What are the questions? What should I answer? So I did my research and I listed down the possible questions and I started writing my answers for each and every question. This is something you have to do to go through the experience smoothly and to do really well in your interview, because your interview is going to reflect your personal skills. It's going to reflect on your technical skills and everything. I also recommend that you apply for European as soon as possible. Getting your engineer in training title is also helpful and added value, and it is really alluring to employers. I also recommend that you apply for your PMP if you are eligible, or any professional certification. This absolutely helps. Send me a LinkedIn invite. I would like to connect with you. And I would also like to answer your questions if you have any. I feel I have a really good network. So send me a LinkedIn invite to get a better exposure and to stay in touch. You have noticed that I focused on LinkedIn. Why I focused on LinkedIn? LinkedIn is really a trusted a platform in North America and in other nations. It is easy to reach out to managers and to show your work. It absolutely gives you the option to set job alerts for companies that you're interested in joining. So from my own experience, I got my 2 positions via LinkedIn. The first one, I was approached by a regional manager because he liked my profile in terms of the achievements and the publications. And the other job, I got it because I set a job alert. So I got it and I was picked. So LinkedIn is a very powerful tool to find a job. What are moving now to the possible challenges while applying for an industry position? I was considered overqualified with my PhD degree for 3 times. I felt frustrated, but I didn't allow it to last for long. So the committees, I remember they were impressed with my application and the profile, but they were like, "We're sorry, but you're overqualified." Don't allow this statement to discourage you, because you will find your way and you will find an employer that will be happy with your achievement and appreciate what you have done. The other challenge is finding the best fit position. And this is one of the tips I included for you, is that you need to read in a detailed manner, the job description to find the best fit for your strengths and skills. Another challenge I found was that most of the positions were for senior engineers that required, let's say, long years of experience. So even this statement, don't allow it to discourage you. I'm not saying that you can apply. No, you need to look for a position that is suitable for your experience, skills, and so on. But still, there will be more postings, and there is absolutely demand for transportation engineers in general. And I'm telling you, this is a reality. I see that there is an increased demand for transportation engineers. The main reason is the increase in demand and the issues, the problems. So transportation engineers are really in need. Another challenge that I faced personally is having a computer-assisted personal interview. When I applied for Manatee County, they sent me a link for an interview. It was 100% with a computer. So I remember I was given on the screen. So I saw myself on the screen. It wasn't really comfortable looking at myself all the time while doing the interview. I remember I was given the question, a specific number of retakes, and a period of time for my answer. So it was really challenging. I considered myself at that time very good at presentation skills, but when I did it, it was really challenging. But obviously I did it, and I am at Manatee County. So be prepared for anything, and trust me, you are gonna make it, but be prepared. This is the key tip that I can give you. Another possible challenge is not knowing the software for a position, the whole software for a position. So one of the tips I shared with you is that really give yourself exposure to as many softwares as you can. The thing is that you have to keep in mind, let's say when you apply for a job, you see that, let's say that they ask for Synchro, Transcad, uh, Vism, other softwares. So trust me, if you learn one of them, many of the skills you learned in one software are going to be transferable to other softwares. So just try to give yourself the chance to learn from a friend, from a colleague, from your classmate. Learn as much as you can. It's your chance to learn and enrich your knowledge. Um, um, my note for you after sharing with you the possible challenges, despite all the above, you will make it and you will find your way. Let's move now to a brief comparison between the public and private sector. This is very brief, general, but I just want to give you a sense of the difference in terms of tasks between public and private sectors. So let's start with the public sector. In the public sector, you may review transportation master plans that are generally done by private companies. And this is transportation master plans. I shared with you what they refer to. They create a vision for a jurisdiction transportation network, reflecting on existing and future with and without improvements. They do suggest improvements to mitigate any undesirable impact because of the increase in demand. In the public sector, you will actually most probably review traffic studies, and this is what I'm doing to assure compliance with the jurisdiction guidelines and policies. This is a very important skill and task actually that we're doing here in the public sector. In a public sector, you would update official documents such as traffic study guidelines, reservation system, comprehensive plan, land code development, etc. You may conduct transportation studies and perform research related to transportation matters. And finally, you may research to improve official documents while considering important variables or elements. So these are mainly the tasks that you may work on or may experience if you work in a public sector. Moving to the private sector, on the other hand, you may work on different phases of transportation master plans. Again, the three phases are the existing, future without improvements, and future with improvements. And generally speaking, transportation master plans are for future. So they are for 20, 25 years in the future. It depends on their jurisdiction, what they want to define for their transportation master plan. Generally, the analyses that you may work on are socioeconomic analysis. This is mainly for the existing phase. And you may work on flow over capacity analysis, screen analysis, trip generation, distribution, trip assignment, and other analyses. In a private sector, you may prepare traffic impact studies of developments, that are submitted to jurisdictions to be reviewed and assure compliance with the regulations. Moving now to the good news. This is my last slide. I have good news for female transportation engineers. According to statistics, it was found that women comprise only 15% of 14.8 million transportation workforce, and even fewer are in executive and decision-making roles. The percentage is really very low. This attracted a nonprofit organization, and they launched a pledge, which is 10 in 10. This pledge stands for 10 more women leading transportation in 10 years. As I have noticed on LinkedIn, many very big companies in the US have signed this pledge, and they are committed to increasing the percentage of women leading transportation, the transportation field. So this percentage needs to be increased, and with women transportation engineers, I trust with their determination, this percentage is going to increase, and employers are aware of this point, and they are kind of supporting the increase. So good luck for everyone, and this is what I wanted to share with you, female transportation engineers. I want to thank you for listening, and I am ready to answer your questions and to have discussion. I have one last thing to share. I believe that life is a mountain, not a beach. And you're now climbing a mountain, and trust me, the view from up there is going to be really nice. I love the sea, but still, the view from the mountain is really very nice. So you will do it. And ask me whatever questions you have, anything you have in mind. And if you want, you can text me on LinkedIn. You have my name and everything. Yeah. Thank you very much.